Crash on the floor and crush some more. Quit the talking, ma, this ain't no interview. I'm trying to get into you, not into you. Crush your spine, corrupt your mind. Your mind, Brooklyn girls come wine, wine. All day, every day, when I sing my rod, all they do is pray, please help me God. I need a broad who could take that charge, whip that car, flip that hard, stuff it all in the bra. Go raw, running from the law. Pink face, Russian cuts, put it in the jar. Sneak nines and inclines, pedal to the floor, hear the engine raw. In that mother, the governor.
It's a shame we gotta go through this. We can't even talk, girl, we don't need.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Got a list for you guys today that I think a lot of you have been wanting to see. I've gotten a lot of comments and messages about this. I didn't want to do it for the longest time, and that is the 10 most seductive fragrances in my collection. Now, the reason that I didn't want to do this is because it's hard for me to say, oh, this is seductive. You know, I kind of need that to be co-signed by someone being seduced. So what I did to make this list is I had 3 females in my life sort of go through my collection with me. This took a period of over a month to compile. We went through about 100 fragrances. We dropped that number down to 50, dropped that number down to 30, dropped it down to 25, and then eventually dropped it down to 10. Now, some signature scents of the type of women in this. One wears Tobacco Vanille, one wears Muguet by Guerlain, and one wears the Vanilla Hermescent scent. So these are people that know their fragrances, and together we came up with the 10 fragrances in my collection those 3 women would most want to smell on a guy. So it is in order. I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Let's just get right into it. I do have, since I said we got the number down to 25, I'm going to give you the 5 honorable mentions that just sort of missed the cut. First up, from the house of Guerlain, this one, of course, Tonka Imperial. Everyone knows this one. The women really seem to think that this one was seductive and really sort of romantic smelling, so that's no surprise to anyone. Everyone knows Tonka Imperial is a great sort of cuddling, cold weather fragrance. Another one they really liked but didn't make the cut. I was a little surprised about this one. From the House of Smell Bent, this one is called Saint-Tropez Dispenser Après Soleil, which means after sundown. And this is a coconut fragrance that has a suntan lotion and a nice musky note. So I definitely do get the sexual vibe from this one. They thought it was a really sexual smelling fragrance. The next honorable mention, I'm not really surprised by this one as well. You know, I don't know that I thought of this one in my life as a seductive fragrance, but I know I've gotten compliments from females and they love this one. From the House of Thierry Mugler, this one is Pure Malt. The 4th honorable mention is from the House of Xerjoff. This is a newer one to my collection, and they loved this one. It smells a lot like Pure Havana, so those Thierry Mugler flankers do quite well. This one is called Naxos by Xerjoff. And then the final one they thought was nice and seductive, from the House of By Kilian. Of course, Back to Black, that sort of raspberry and honey tobacco. They seem to really like that in Back to Black. So those are the 5 honorable mentions. Now let's do the actual list of the 10 most seductive full bottles in my collection. Number 10 is another one that definitely surprised me. This is one of my favorite vanilla fragrances, and what I think about it was sort of backed up by their opinion, because I feel like this is sort of a better vanilla-y scent than Spiritueuse Double Vanille. And I actually like it better than Tonka Imperial as well, to be honest with you guys. From the House of Lumont, this one is called Corrigan, and Corrigan is a cognac scent with it's a vanilla scent with cognac and juniper berries and Brett seed. It's just so dope. They thought it was really attractive. They think they'd love to be next to a guy wearing this one. So Corrigan is number 10 on this list. Number 9, this one doesn't surprise me at all, again, because a lot of people think Noir de Noir by Tom Ford is really seductive. This is, some people think it's an imposter. I actually like it better. I think the raspberry is more prominent in this one, and the rose is a little pulled back. From the House of Phaidon, number 9 on the seductive list is Rouge Avignon. Number 8 on the list, I think this is a sexy fragrance. So again, I wasn't surprised, but I guess I found it surprising that women really like this one as well. This is like a summer sexy fragrance. It's got peach. It's got some pipe tobacco. It's got whiskey. It just sort of smells like teenagers out drinking, having sex in the back of their parents' car in the summer in Atlanta. It's called Kiss Day from Slumber House. That is number 8 on the most seductive fragrance list. Is it turned around backwards? No, the printing's just mad light. Number 7, not one that surprises me. Again, the gourmands did really well on this one. I would actually not recommend buying this. I would say if you want this sort of vibe, go get yourself Tendre Madeleine by Laurence Dumont, because this one is $300 and it's about the same. From the House of Xerjoff, this one is called Lyra, and Lyra fared as number 7 in the most seductive list. Number 6, a lot of people are going to be happy about this one. I don't really think it's that sexy or seductive, but they were definitely in agreement on it, and a lot of people think that, so I can't fight that feeling of mine anymore. From the House of Yves Saint Laurent, it is La Nuit de l'Homme. So they found that one really nice. They said they would love to date a guy that was wearing La Nuit de l'Homme. Number 5, another gourmand that I think is just so dope. For me, it's the best in the house, even though it's one of the cheapest. Bond number 9. Number 5 is I Love New York for All. This, of course, a gorgeous gourmand that has a nutty note, a coffee note, a chocolate note. Some people think it smells like Cocoa Puffs. I totally get that. I Love New York for All by Bond number 9 scored in at number 5. Number 4, no surprise for me. I was a little surprised that this was the flanker that they like the best, because it's my, I'd say, 3rd favorite from the bunch. They liked Dior Parfum better than Dior Intense or Dior Sport. They just said this one was more refined, sort of smelled more mature, and like a more dignified guy would be wearing Dior Parfum. So number 4 is Dior Parfum. Now we got the 3 that they just fucking swooned over. They said every guy should own these. Every Casanova should have these in their collection. The first one, this doesn't surprise me, is from the House of Shea and Blue. It's called Salt Caramel, and this does smell like warmed caramel with salt sprinkled on it. Totally understand why they felt that way about this one, and I totally agree. I think it really is a great seductive fragrance for a guy to have. Number 2, yeah, they said this was one they'd love a guy to wear. Really, when it's cold out, they just think it's comforting, and it smells like guy who would be wearing this would be someone who they could depend on and rely on, and who could protect them, which, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I love it as well. Number 2 fragrance they picked, Amber Narguilé from Hermes. So what was the number 1 fragrance they picked? Totally surprised by this one. This is a fragrance that gets ignored in my collection. I like it, but I didn't know that it had this power that these 3 women think it has, and I'm definitely going to wear it a lot more now. I kind of see what they're talking about now that I've really given it some time. I reviewed this one and wasn't blown away. It is from L'Artisan Parfumeur. From their higher end line. I think it's called Explosion d'Emotion. This one is called Skin on Skin, and this is a whiskey, suede, and musk fragrance, and it makes sense because this is a very sexual fragrance. It was supposed to be. The name Skin on Skin, obviously you know what that means, and this really is a sexy sort of really nice skin scent. It doesn't leap off the skin, but it definitely does have this sort of boozy, leathery vibe that I could see being very attractive. And this was the favorite. The 3 women who went through my collection with me in terms of what they like to smell on a guy. So there you go, guys. That's my list. It's not conventional. Not a lot of designers on it. I promise you, we did go through all the designers, or the ones that I thought would pique their interest the most. But that's the list. Let me know what you think of this list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. But if there's other top 10 lists you'd like to see me do, let me know, and of course I'll get on it. Guys, my name is Maximilian. I must know. Peace.